confidence. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, have these conversations with yourself. Like, don't stop looking for validation from other people. When you stop looking for that from other people, you find it within yourself. And that's really all that you need. You don't need to be validated by other people's opinions or perspectives or lifestyles. You really just need to take a moment and decide, are you okay with this? If you're okay with this and you're okay with how you are and who you are, then you that confidence to move forward. So really, once you stop, kind of silence that outside noise and kind of look internally for the answers that you're looking for externally, your confidence grows because you're giving yourself these compliments. You're doing these things because you like to do them. You're doing these things affecting you and your personal, your mental. So definitely, start looking internally for some of those answers.
You're listening to the First Class Life Show hosted by Lindsay Vertner, a holistic personal development show for high-achieving leaders who desire to maximize their impact while creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. So grab a drink, grab your notebook, and let's get started. Hey, First Class family. Please be aware that this episode does contain a few audio and/or video technical difficulties that couldn't be corrected without losing the valuable content. We don't strive to be perfect, but we do strive for excellence. And it's most important to us that you are served despite this minor obstacle. Thank you so much for your patience with this episode. Enjoy the show. Hey, First Class family. Welcome to another episode of the First Class Life Show with your host, Lindsay Vertner. That is me, your mindset expert and speaker here. And I'm super excited for you guys to meet today's guest because I have known her in these internet streets for I don't know how long, but she is a firecracker ball of fun, okay? And she done been through some things, and I'm so excited to just chat with her and pick up some life lessons from her. So y'all already know that this show is all about maximizing your impact while creating a first-class life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. So I know y'all are busy and don't have a lot of time to waste, so we're going to hop right into the conversation. Hey, Bunnie Mae.
Girl, hey, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to be here to chat with you, to chat with your audience, to chat with all the cuties out there. Hey, y'all.
Yes, now I know a little bit about your background, but come on and give us the good tea. Spill the juice, spill the tea, spill the Henny, whatever you need to spill to let us know who is Bunnie Mae really. Like, where did you come from, girl? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, ain't no spilling the liquor. We don't spill the liquor. We can spill the tea. We can spill the juice. Ain't no spilling the liquor. So for those who don't know me, I am Bunnie Mae. I am also known as Bunnie The Blogger. I'm a lifestyle correspondent, a media correspondent, and a blogger. Actually, I'm transitioning out of that into just a care lady. I'm just Bunnie. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing. I showcase. I teach women how to show up authentically in places that they normally would not. That is my specialty. And catering to small businesses, that's really my niche. So I'm really like a vessel. I'm really just here for the community. I serve and they serve me back, girl. I'm here.
Nice. Now, I noticed that you mentioned authentic, and, it's crazy. If you think back to our childhood, it's like on the one hand, children can be so bold and stand in who they are. But as we start to grow through our childhood years in the school age and middle school, and especially high school, we kind of fall into the trap of trying to fit in. So thinking back to your childhood, did you ever have any issues with being your authentic self?
For a while I did. I think everyone goes through that phase where all they want to do is fit in. Everybody wants to be like everyone else. Everyone wants to be the popular girl or the star football player or whatever the case is. Like, you want it to be that person. So sometimes who you are authentically is not necessarily who the world wants as the it person. So you can try to change who you are to kind of fit into this mold or fit into this box. There were times where I tried to kind of shift or adjust to my surroundings, but when there's really just something there, like you can't deny it, and it comes out even when, like you're uncomfortable in situations because you're not authentic. There's certain times where I fumbled situations because I wasn't being who I truly was. I kind of got in and got contracts or got agreements based on what they perceived me to be versus who I actually was. And that's that's kind of like how we maneuver. That's something that I work on breaking the mold on. I'll say it that way. I work on breaking the mold on accepting yourself and being yourself in these situations. Or, as a child, if I can set the example for a child to be like, hey, this is who I am. It's okay, And it's something that it's an ongoing process. It's not anything that's like right now, you got it overnight, you woke up. It's a process. And let me go because you cut me off. You be like, you talking too much, buddy. Shut up. Next question.
No. We keep it raw and authentic on the First Class Live show, so no worries. Did you ever have a moment where you realized and recognized that, all right, this is not who I want to be, especially in those formative years, like your adolescence and things like that? And what did you do to start to change it?
I kind of got a lot of no's. Like I got a lot of, I was accepted into circles or into groups where I didn't feel comfortable because I wasn't being my authentic self. So then, there came a point in time where I was just like, you know what, this is not for me. This is not my thing. This is not what I do. Just allow myself to be who I was. Even with the struggles that come with that, even with the ups and downs that come with just being your authentic self, like, there was a moment, one moment I was really embarrassing. I tried to be like this funny kid in the lunchroom, and I like tripped and fell over this balloon chair. It was a whole situation. Anyways, I decided I didn't want to be a comedian anymore after that moment. So there were moments where I found out, man, this might not be for me. This is not authentically who I am. And, I didn't have room to grow in the area.
So I know for me personally, like being my inauthentic self made me, try to hold on to some relationships that really just weren't for me. They weren't what I desired or anything like that. Did you ever find yourself in that position where, you put yourself into a relationship with someone, whether romantically or platonically, either way, but it was your unauthentic self that kind of either drew that person to you or kept you in that situation? Do you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like that question was all over the place. Sorry, y'all.
No. You make sense. Like, so what I try to, in those situations, I try not to use the word unauthentic. I try to say unhealed, because I think a lot of us acted out or maneuvered in those moments and times where we weren't really sure of ourselves or healed within ourselves. So we kind of acted in ways that we weren't sure about. So there are a lot of relationships that come from, or friendships, or in my world, it would be like my media industry. There were a lot of times in the media industry where I was presented a certain way, but maneuvering and growing forward into my authentic self, a lot of those relationships didn't last because they were only based upon what they perceived me to be. They weren't based on my actual relationship with them. They were based on what I could do for them or what they perceived my platform could do for them. So transitioning over into that authentic area allowed me to really see people for who they were. Why are you here? What are we doing? Where are we going? What is this? A lot of relationships have changed since stepping into who you are. A lot of them fell off, and it's like, it feels good too. Feel good. Feel good.
Yes, that's one thing that I always try to share with people. Like, whenever you are, one, being who you truly desire to be, who you're truly meant to be, and two, whenever you are establishing boundaries for your mental, emotional, and physical health, you'll start to lose some people. And don't think of it as a loss. Like, yes, grieve what you thought you had in that relationship, or what maybe you even did have, but know that you're going to gain so much more, because oftentimes what holds us in relationships is that, like, oh no, I'm losing dot, dot, dot. I'm losing this and that and that, and it's going to cause me all this pain. And yes, you might have pain for just a moment, but what you're gaining far outweighs what you're losing. Like, you might be gaining your peace, you might be gaining your identity, you might be gaining like all kinds of things on the healthy side of the spectrum. So share a little bit more about that.
Like, you know, it hurts to lose relationships. It hurts to lose friendships, especially when you feel like these people were here genuinely for you. And, you know, and it can feel like breakups at times, or it can feel like that fear of missing out, like you're losing out on something. But you really just have to stick with it to see on the other end, to see the results of why you went through these relationships, or how much better you sleep knowing that, you know, you don't have anyone over your shoulder, like, you know, like, I'm only here for this reason. You don't have to question anyone around you when you're being authentic, because you know your purpose and you know your intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just creates for a more peaceful, I'm trying to find the words for it, just a better way to live life, you know, a more enjoyable way to live life.
I have two questions for you that brought up. So the first, what advice would you give to a family out there that's struggling with being their authentic self?
What advice would I give? Take some time for yourself. You know, take some time and figure out who you are, not what your parents told you like, not what, you know, you can grow up using Dawn dish soap your whole life, you know, but that's because that's what your parents use. Take a moment to find out, like, do I even like Dawn dish soap? Like, or do I just use it because that's what my parents use? You know what I'm saying? Take some time to figure out, is this what I really like, or is this what I've been gathered this information along the way and just compiled this individual that doesn't really exist? You know, take some time and figure out what you like, what you want to experience, where you want to go.
Nice. That's definitely so important. And then my second question was, what advice would you give to someone out there that is struggling to maintain a relationship that they are not their authentic selves, or that, you know, they're their unhealed version of them?
You know, set your boundaries, stand firm in it. Like, it's not going, if a relationship is meant to hold on or to last, whether it be a friendship or a platonic relationship, if it's meant to stand with the time, then, you know, whether your unauthentic self or unhealed self, or whether you're authentic, it's going to be around. Don't fight to save something that's not supposed to be there. Like, you know, there's no point in fighting something that's, if you can build it together and it's going through time and people are rocking with you, cool. But if people decide, like, this is not the version of you that I want to be around, be okay with that. Like, don't fight to save something that's not really serving any purpose for you or them.
Yeah. Now, what if somebody doesn't know what version they want to be because they've spent so long trying to be all these other versions to please other people?
Well, that goes back to, I know, right? Well, that goes back to my first one. My first advice is more like, just spend time with yourself. You know, you really don't know what you like until you spend time with yourself. Even in a relationship, like, you in a relationship and you kind of take on maybe some of what the other person likes, or you have children, now you're taking on what your children like, or you have, you know, you're very close with your family, now you're taking on what your family likes. Like, really take some time and figure out who you are and what you like. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, that will answer a lot of problems. That will change the way you maneuver. That will change your thought process. Not just material things, but your mindset. You know, do you even like morning times? Do you like, you know what I'm saying? Do you like tight clothes? Do you like socks? You know, these are things that people tell you you're supposed to like, or that you're supposed to use, or supposed to maneuver. But, you know, when you really take some time with yourself, you're like, girl, I don't even like socks. Why we here? I don't even wear socks for real, you know?
Are you loving the First Class Live show? Then join our private Patreon community. Not only will you help to support our ability to provide you with great content, but you can also get exclusive perks like bonus videos and resources, discounts, episode transcripts, and more. So what are you waiting for? Join today at patreon.com/First Class Life. Again, that's Patreon, patreon.com/First Class Life.
That is me. It's so funny that you mentioned socks because I am not a sock person. Like anytime I can get away with not wearing socks, I don't wear them. Like
It's not just socks.
maybe to warm up my feet if I need to, but
period.
Yes, and my house is a no
Socialite.
Yes, you gotta take your shoes off at the door at my house. So I get it. Now, listen, I know that you have experienced moments where you felt like you were broken. Would you mind sharing a little bit more about that?
Oh, that's a good one. A moment where I felt like I was broken. So a little bit about my history, when I first had my oldest daughter, I was in a shelter. Not at that time, but a little after that, I became homeless and I stayed in the shelter. And that probably was the lowest point that I've ever been at. And I felt like I was in this hole and I just couldn't get out of this hole. And my spirit felt broken. And that was a different experience for me. That was something that's like, I've been bubbly and talkative and cheerful and hee and ha my whole life. Like I'm a talk girl, I'm a laugh, I'm a do this. But that was a point where I felt like I actually felt like I was broken because my spirit wasn't there. My energy wasn't there. Like it was a really low point for me. And I know to some people or the people that were around me at the time may not have known that or experienced that because I wasn't letting it show, but I was really broken in that moment. I really just had to work my way out of that or fight my way out of that. So I didn't slip into like a depression or anything that would mess me up mentally, but I was broken. I was hurt. It was a very low point for me.
Now, I noticed you mentioned something that is very prominent amongst leaders. You said that a lot of people around me wouldn't have known because I didn't let it show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I didn't. It was just something that,
I said intentional pause right there.
I know you dirty. You did it on purpose. It's cool. I see you. No, it was that's a lot of things. Like as an entrepreneur or someone of a position or as someone that holds a position in the community, we often are seen as the strong person or the pillar in the community or the source, as I like to say. Like people come to you for inspiration. People come to you for this. So sometimes it can be hard when you have so many people relying on you for good energy. It can be hard to always be so positive and to be like, we have real life shit too. Like we all do stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're there. Every moment isn't happy. Every moment isn't cheerful. But when you have people that draw from your happiness, you tend to put up this, oh, I'm good. I'm fine. I got it. And I had to learn to let people help me, to let people know that when I'm not okay, I had to learn to let people know that it's okay to not be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have moments where you are up. There are moments where you are down. There are moments where you're sad. Like it's okay to feel those emotions and deal with those emotions.
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay. That is such an important message. Because let's dissect that just a little bit more. What do you feel would happen if you were to go? Not now, because we've grown and we learned, but at that time, what did you feel would happen if you were to say like, hey, I'm struggling, or hey, I need help? What were some of the lies that you told yourself?
Oh man, some of the things that I told myself was like, oh, they can't help me anyways. That's a huge thing for me. Is they can't help me, or they don't want to help me, or I didn't want anyone to feel pity for me, or I didn't want to be that person that was like, I guess, looked down upon or judge, And to be honest, we all judge anyway, so it really doesn't freaking matter. But at that time, I didn't understand that, like, it doesn't matter. If somebody's going to have something to say. But at that time, I didn't feel like it was okay to show my struggles. I felt like the way we grew up was like everything was behind closed doors. You handle your own problems. You fix your own situations. You know what I'm saying? You got yourself in it, you get yourself out. These are the things that as a child you hear and you grow up and you adapt these mindsets. So as an adult, showing that emotion or showing that vulnerability for a lot of people is not easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of different emotions, and that's usually what it is, that pride, that ego that holds us back from saying, like, y'all, I just need a moment, and I would prefer if you can help me with this moment that I need, but I don't want to look like I'm some kind of way.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't want to.
Especially when
and
we
then
are
especially as Black women, like we have a thing with being seen as weak. We don't want to be seen as weak. So a lot of times, and even though that's a messed up mindset, a lot of times women maneuver in that sense because we don't want to be seen as weak. We already have so many stipulations put on us. We only have so many titles put on us. The last thing we want is for somebody to say, "Oh, you weak." You know, those like fighting words where I come from. You weak. You weak. Like, yo, wait a minute, relax. Who you calling weak? Like, I got these hands up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different mindset when it comes to that. So, that plays on it. You know, now the healed version of me is like, sis, I need help. I ain't got it, can't do it, or just simply I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like being your authentic self. I know, right? Being your authentic self gives you that freedom to really be able to say, no, I don't want to do this. Yes, I need help with this. Like when you feel like people are judging you or perceiving you based on who you are, you don't really have that space to ask for help a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? You create that space that narrows you down and it doesn't give you the opportunity to say, I don't have it. I can't do it. You know? And really since transitioning over, it feels so good, girl. Like even if I do, you know what I'm saying? Even if I got it, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to. It feels so good to say that without beating myself up, without feeling pressure to say I had to do this, or you know what I'm saying. I'm at that point now where it's like, hey, you know what? It is what it is. If this is an opportunity I missed out on, God forgive me. There will be nothing, you know. So just that mindset, it feels so good. This is a great space.
It really is just allowing yourself the ability to say no to things that you don't want to do, because oftentimes when we are people pleasing and trying to live up to the expectations of other people, we will be like, oh yes, I'll do this, or you know, I won't do this when really we wanted to, or really we didn't want to, and then we show up to that thing and we might have a smile on our face, but the energy is off because we didn't really want to be there in the first place, or we really wanted to go this event, but we didn't go because such and such said that we shouldn't. And so now we're sitting at home like, dang, man, I wish I was there, but let me put on this smiling face for. I was about to say, I had a filter.
Actually, I feel so good at that now because there were so many situations where my work was affected. So when me attending events and doing red cards and doing these interviews, like I have to produce product after that, right? And if my intentions are, or if I really don't want to be there, or this is not something that I'm passionate about, or something that aligns with my purpose, the quality of my work, you can tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell that it's not like the articles that I wrote for some of the people that they were like basic. They were very simple. They were very generic. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a situation that I really wanted to or cared to have. And once I stepped into my authenticity, like then now my writings are fire. You know, I've written for more publications now than I have in a long time, you know, and it's because it's my voice. It's who I am. It's really reflecting on that. And that was something also that made me take a step back and dig into myself, because I was like, I have so much to give. Why am I giving this generic version of myself? Like, you know, if I'm extra, that's okay. Y'all gonna take this extra.
And those that it is for will be attracted to you, definitely. Listen, so we're gonna take a little break from the discussion and we're gonna play a little game. Is that cool with you? Let me pull up. Listen, your man's might come out to me, okay? Let me pull up my timer because we are going to play First Class Life Favorites. And it's really easy. All I'm going to do is ask you, who is your favorite? Fill in the blank, and you're going to fill in the blank, okay? But you only got 10 seconds to fill in the blank. Super, super easy. Got it? Got it. So, what is your favorite color? Go.
Blue.
So, fun fact, because I know some of you that maybe know Bunnie Mae already, or if you're new to her and you're going through her social, you're going to see all the pink and the orange and all of those things, and you're going to think that's her favorite color. But now, because you're part of the First Class Life family, you're going to be like, nope, I know her favorite color is blue.
And it's Tiffany blue at that.
So, next one. Ooh, Tiffany blue. Okay. Crayola crown colors, robin egg blue, cyan. Cyan
is like a red, ain't it?
Yeah, I meant cerulean. That's the what is your favorite? Right. What is your favorite movie?
Go. The Green Mile. Because there's so much. It's actually two. So the Green Mile and nope, never mind. We're gonna go with Green Mile. It literally was on the tip of my tongue, but the Green Mile, because there are so many lessons in there. You know, it's so many life lessons in there. So many. It's such a story to me, and I know a lot of people like. And then if you you'll hear me quote movies as if it's normal conversation. So I'll just randomly pop out like John Carpenter, like just. But it's such a good movie. I know, right? I'm doing press so far.
Next one, what is your favorite book, title, and author? Go.
Oh, man. I don't remember the author, but when I was in 6th grade, I remember reading this book about this ginger. She was a redhead, and she had gotten adopted, and I cannot remember the name of the book. Oh, my God. I'm going to go with Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling.
Listen. So she missed the buzzer, y'all. Yeah. So what do you want everybody to do because you missed the buzzer? They can, whatever you want is a punishment. You know, it might be a punishment for some, a reward for others, but you missed the buzzer. So
man, my bad, y'all. So I'm gonna need y'all to go follow me on social media. That's what I want y'all to do. Go follow me at Bunnie Mae.
So follow her because she missed the buzzer. Got it.
Right, there we go. That's a good
Next one. What is your favorite song?
Oh, okay. Favorite song? "I'm Your Baby Tonight" by Whitney Houston.
Hey, yes, I love that era of Whitney.
My favorite.
What's your favorite place to travel?
Ooh, so far it's been I would say Australia. It's in Australia. That's been my favorite out of the country experience.
Oh. Where did you go in Australia?
So I went to it was a homestay. So we went to Sydney, and then we went to Wangapora in New Zealand. And those are probably by far my favorite places.
Nice. What's a must-do thing in there?
Oh, there, you have to go to see the natives. It's a mandatory. You have to see the Aborigines that were originated from over there. It's not, they're not on display. Almost, that's so bad. They're not on display like it is when in Hawaii, where it's like, this is the showcase. This is what you see, but they have sets and they have performances, and it's really amazing to see. I'm a cultural person, so I love learning backstories and histories and other countries' cultures. Like, it's amazing to me. So definitely must go see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, got it. And then, what is your favorite relaxing activity to do?
Smoking, Can I say that?
Whatever floats your boat.
No, really though, it's actually just it's getting me a moment to myself. One of the crazy things that I do, which is real, nobody really knows. I watch what I call these silly shows. So I watch Family Guy, American Dad, and I watch it because it's a mind break for me. So those are actually, I will smoke and watch that.
Hey, listen, and you live where it's legal, so it's A-okay. Listen, hashtag no judgment zone. Okay.
It is legal here.
So, thank you for playing First Class Life Favorites, because there are some of these that are going to be added to our uniquely curated list. And if you want access to that list, make sure you are a member of our private Patreon community, because you will have access to the whole First Class Favorites, our favorite things, our reading list, our music playlist, where we like to travel, and our relaxing activities, because we're all about self-care, okay? So make sure you click the link to join our Patreon community so that you can have a running access to that running list. I just fumbled my words all up, but it's all right. It's all right. So you can have access to our First Class Favorite Things list, right? Yes, yes. It's something for everybody, because some people like reading, some people prefer music, some people like both. So we got you covered. And then we like to be cultured. So we definitely have our travel list. And then because we're all about self-care, we got to have our relaxing activities. And it is brought to you by all of the guests of the First Class Life Show. Mm-hmm.
Looking for amazing products to help boost your first class lifestyle? Then head over to firstclasslifeshop.com, where you can treat yourself to personal development books and workbooks, lifestyle affirmation cards, adult coloring books, mugs, notebooks, hoodies, t-shirts, leggings, and more. All products were designed to help you master your mindset, walk in your purpose, and live your first class life, because you deserve it. So treat yourself today at firstclasslifeshop.com. Again, that's firstclasslifeshop.com.
So I noticed when you were sharing what you like to do in your free time, you mentioned it's a mind break for you. How important is it to take those mind breaks? Because oftentimes as leaders, we get so busy going. And I noticed that we don't celebrate our achievements, or we don't celebrate the now, because it's like, oh yes, won this award, now what's next? And or I launched this program, what's next? And we're always thinking about what's next and what do we have to do, and what's coming around the corner and down the street and next month and next year and all of those things. So how important are taking those breaks for you?
Taking breaks are extremely important for me, because it gives me your mind is like any other muscle in your body. Like, it has to take a break at some point. You cannot constantly work it without giving it an opportunity to enjoy itself. Eventually, it's not going to work in the capacity that you want it to. So you have to have these moments where, you really get these relaxation moments, even if it's, I try to say, what I tell my community is I tell them at least do 30 minutes a day, at least do one thing that you solely enjoy. No one else has to enjoy it. No one else has to partake in it. No one has to do anything with it but you. And it gives your mind that break. Whatever it is, you don't have to think about your business. You don't have to look at your phone. You don't have to, the kids are all off to bed, or, off to school or wherever. Like, just 30 minutes a day of doing something that you purely enjoy that will give your mind a break. And you'll definitely see a result in that. Yeah, even if you can take longer than 30 minutes, but I really say 30 minutes because it gives you a renewed sense of, it's not a constant sense of pull. It's not a constant sense of thought. There's not a constant, the wheels are the wheels are still going, but now the wheels are going in other places and other areas. They're, using a part of your brain that you probably haven't used in about 3 weeks. Because I can't tell you last time I did some math, girl, that just part of my brain just is it just shut down. It just don't even work. So you have to have these moments where you utilize other parts of your brain, or to just give it that moment to just relax. And it's very vital. It's very important. I promise you, try it for a week. You'll see the results. even if it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, and we can get so caught up in just going through the motions with things. I know one thing that you mentioned math. One thing that I will do is I'll not use my calculator every now and then just to make sure like I'm still working those skills. Or, how backup cameras are very popular these days. I remember I found myself being very reliant on the backup camera when I had my first car that actually had a backup camera in it. And so now I'm intentional, like every now and then, like I back up without my camera, because you never know like when technology is going to break down, but just exercising those muscles every now and then and not being bogged down with
the other day. That didn't work out so well. You know, I thought that was like backing in the car. Same thing.
Please.
Same thing.
Because they will not look pretty, okay? It's been a couple decades since I done did a cartwheel.
Listen,
I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're not.
I was just reminded of I think it was maybe 3 years ago. I used to run track in high school, and I used to do hurdles and high jump. That was my thing. So I think a couple years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I was like, I can still jump a hurdle. So I put this table out in the front yard, and I was supposed to jump the table. I don't remember the ending, how that ended. But they said I didn't make it. I think I made it, but I didn't make it, and my memory is a little blurry. I don't really recall.
I think your memory is telling the truth for you, okay? There's a reason your memory is blurry about that situation. Listen, so in keeping along with the breaks, was there ever a time in your life where you were forced to take a break? And what I mean by that is I can think back to a time where I was just, on that people pleasing, overachieving path, where I was saying yes to all events, saying yes to all the people. I was in grad school. I was being a mom. I was, being a friend, being a sister, being a daughter, like doing all of the roles and titles that I have up on my shoulders, doing all the things for other people, not putting myself first, not taking care of myself, practicing self-care and things like that. And I just had a complete meltdown. I was just ugly, crying, alligator, crocodile tears, not face, just looking a hot mess. And it was in that whole situation that actually made me become an advocate for self-care, because I realized what it was doing in hindsight, being irritable, extra agitated or snappy, moody, just extra tired and lethargic constantly because I wasn't taking those breaks. So did you ever have a time in your life where you were forced to take a break because you weren't? Because usually those come at inconvenience.
Yes. There was a situation where I actually ended up in the hospital for overworking. I was just, my health I wasn't taking care of myself, physically. It was a mental break, and I just wasn't feeling too well. I went to the doctor and they were just like, you know what, you are overworking yourself. This is not, you know what I'm saying? You have to slow down. I was in there for a while and forced to slow down. And that was when I kind of made that point of okay, I don't care if it's getting up and going for a walk every day, or if it's going to take that 30-minute break or whatever. I have to practice self-care. I have to take a moment for myself, because you can't help anyone if you're laying up in the hospital bed. You can't help anyone if you are mentally shut down. There's not going to be anything there. So yeah, there are definitely situations where there were situations where I was forced to stop. I was, hey, no, just no. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. It's just no. There's nothing you can do. This is out of your control. And you don't ever want to, as someone who is constantly on the go, you don't ever want to be forced to stop, because that stops literally everything that you have going on. But sometimes it's necessary. I'm a believer, that your body and God will shut you down. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take a break, your body will. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take those moments to be like, if you don't do it, your body gonna be like, okay, keep playing with me. Go ahead if you want to, sis. Like, and those are not safe places to be in. Not mentally, not physically. You don't ever want to work yourself to that point where you physically shut down. So it's definitely important to take those self-care moments.
Yes, you can physically shut down, mentally, emotionally, all of the things. Because like I said, it usually comes at the most inconvenience of times, and then you're forced to like just halt. Like, you didn't have the time to prep anything for your moment of silence or your break, but everything just halts, and you are forced. Because I see that a lot where it's like, oh no, now I've got this bad cold or this bad illness or something. It's like, well, your body been telling you 2 years ago, but you kept going. It was telling you last month, but you kept going and going and going. And, now you can't think. Now you creative. Now all of these things that you aren't able to do because you weren't proactive in your self-care.
And let's talk about the mental. Like, mentally, you shut down mentally. People always say, like, for someone in my line of work, it's a writer's block, or you have issues with creativity. Like, you literally will shut down mentally, and it's almost as if like you can't add 2 + 2. It's like you literally have to give yourself a mental break, because that it's real. That burnout is real. That shutdown is real. I think my lash falling off.
Look, your lash is like, I need a break right now.
You need a mental break too. There we go. Put the hair up.
Speaking of mental breaks, it's so crazy because I can think back to 2021 last year, and it was simultaneously a great and horrible year, and just so much going on, so many good things and so many bad things, and I could feel it like just coming up, even though I was very intentional about taking breaks. I was having those physical breaks, but my mind was still going and still thinking about all the things and still making all the decisions. And I could feel myself getting to that point where I was about to just burst, like just sporadically combust all over the place. And so I was very intentional. Like, yes, it's nice to have friends and family to talk to and things like that, or journal, but it's also very good to speak with a licensed professional. So I was very intentional about, all right, we need to start at the beginning of the year, back in therapy, like processing this with someone outside of the situation and things like that. And yes, getting rid of as many decisions as possible, trying to simplify things, because that decision fatigue was creeping up. And it's so like,
if you pick it, decision fatigue, and then you like just mentally shut down, like literally it's just so much that you just, your body, your mind is just like, what is my name? Like, you don't even know your name. But yeah, what you said, like, I definitely recommend therapy. And for anyone, it's always good to just be able to have that safe place to express yourself. It's always good to have someone that helps you or can coach you through those mental moments. Sometimes you don't want them to be family because those moments are personal, or sometimes, or something that may affect them, or sometimes you don't want to unload on someone else. Like I said before, when we talked about it earlier, a lot of people don't want to be seen as weak, so they feel like expressing those emotions or moments like gives them that space to be weak, seen as weak. And having a therapist actually provides you with that safe space where you just feel as if you're communicating with someone or you're expressing yourself. Not only can they offer guidance, but they can offer just a safe place for you to just let all that out, and that's very important. Very important. Especially as entrepreneurs. I see that as
yes, and provide you. Yes, definitely. Listen, it is good for everyone, no matter your background, no matter your cultural experience, all other things, whether you're white, black, blue, purple, yellow, green, all of the things. So listen, First Class family, you may or may not be familiar that First Class Life is actually an acronym. And if you don't know what First Class Life stands for, then do one of two things. Either one, go to firstclasslifeshop.com and purchase your copy of the book, First Class Life, 10 Key Factors to Creating a Life Full of Purpose, Fulfillment, and Happiness, or go back and listen to episode 1 of the First Class Life show where I explain each of the factors in detail, because it stands for all of the different characteristics and skills that you want to embody and incorporate into your lifestyle so that you can, in fact, indeed, create a first class life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. And so we are going to ask the beautiful Bunnie Mae, which factor do you resonate with the most out of First Class Life? And tell us why.
So for me,
as
it would
well.
be confidence. I feel like confidence is what plays into authenticity. Being authentic, being your authentic self, comes with a certain level of confidence. You know, you have the ability to be like, you know what, like I said, I don't want to do this today, or screw off, I don't want to deal with that, or I'm not tolerating this type of behavior in relationships. And that gives you a certain sense of confidence. Like there's confidence, you have to have confidence in order to say no. A lot of people don't have that in order to say no to situations. So my favorite and the one that applies to me personally would be confidence.
Yay. Now, what advice would you give to somebody out there, you know, especially to leaders out there that are struggling with their confidence?
You know what? I am a believer sometimes in you make it, and then sometimes I'm a believer in, you know, it's different. I think every person is different. I'm a huge fake it till you make it. Like, listen, I'm gonna wear these wigs until I get me a real one. Okay, listen. So, someone that's struggling with confidence, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, have these conversations with yourself. Like, don't stop looking for validation from other people. When you stop looking for that from other people, you find it within yourself. And that's really all that you need. You don't need to be validated by other people's opinions or perspectives or lifestyles. You really just need to take a moment and decide, are you okay with this? If you're okay with this and you're okay with how you are and who you are, then you that confidence to move forward. So really, once you stop, kind of silence that outside noise and kind of look internally for the answers that you're looking for externally, your confidence grows because you're giving yourself these compliments. You're doing these things because you like to do them. You're doing these things affecting you and your personal, your mental. So definitely, you know, start looking internally for some of those answers.
Nice. Well, tell us, Miss Bunnie Mae, how do you impact the world as a leader?
Girl, I twerk all over the place. That's what I do. No. Right. No, but really, so by my platform, Bunnie Mae, I also have this platform called Carrot Cuties, which we're still growing, we're still building. But what we do is we promote authenticity and just enjoying life. You know, I work with so many entrepreneurs that are constantly going and going and going. And sometimes you forget to celebrate along the way. Sometimes you forget to celebrate the big moments. It is me. I am the one that is going to inspire you to celebrate your wins. I am going to yell yes in your videos. Yes, that is me. I am your hype woman. You know, that is what I promote on my platforms. That is what I promote within my community. Just being a positive vibe, just being a positive source of inspiration for others. And, you know, just enjoying life, you know, teaching others that it's okay to enjoy life, even when you got crooked lashes. Like, listen, it's okay to enjoy life. It's okay to have fun. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You're still going to get into the rooms that you want to get into. You're still going to have the opportunities and brand deals that you want. You're still going to be able to publish that book that you want. You're going to be able to do all of these things in addition to having the confidence to go behind it, to having the authenticity to go match with it. Now, I'm not saying everybody out here got to just, you know, turn ratchet and ghetto. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just have that confidence to be yourself. You know, have that confidence to believe in your work as much as you want other people to believe in it. And that's all we here for. That's all we
Hey, listen, Listen, now tell everyone where they
Okay,
can
because you know I'm a
find you.
gangster in these
Okay.
Y'all can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Bunnie Mae. It's BUNNIEMAE. You can also join my community over at Carrot Cuties. We are, working on some community organizations right now. We're building within ourselves. And we have a website dropping soon along with our fall collection. So stay tuned. Make sure y'all tap in and enjoy it. Thank you.
Yes. Now, do you have any final advice on how we can create a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness?
Dance. No, really, think about it. Like, you dance when your food comes out, right? Because it makes you happy. You dance when you hear good music, right? Because it makes you happy. Dance when you get good news. Dance when you feel like you're stressed. Like, dance and relieve some of that tension in your body. Like, it gives you an extra sense of enjoyment. I use that. Like, literally, I can dance to music in my head, girl. I'll be by myself, all by myself. But to someone that's looking to step into that, or to deal with that, or to upgrade to a first class lifestyle, make sure that you dance, you enjoy your life, you give yourself the luxury of enjoying that first class life.
There we go. Listen, y'all make sure that y'all follow the Bunnie Mae. Okay, she is your lifestyle influencer, and become a part of her Carrot Cuties community. All right, look, Carrot Cuties community. That is a little. Yes, the CQ Club, okay? Make sure you follow her. All of that info you can find right over in the show notes. So you can just click away. And listen, I know that you can be doing anything in the world right now, but you have spent your time here with us on the First Class Live Show, and you are truly appreciated. Make sure you join our private Patreon community, and make sure you go out there and continue to maximize your impact and create the first class life that you deserve, full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. See y'all next time. Bye.
Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. But please be sure to subscribe to the First Class Live Show. And don't forget to rate, leave a review, and join our private community so that we can continue to provide you with great personal development conversations to help you maximize your impact while creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. You deserve it. Do you want to be surrounded by other high-achieving women who are working on their goals just like you? Are you looking for your circle that's passionate about their own growth yet still wants to see you shine? Do you desire to be supported through collaborations and connections instead of competition? Then Cowork and Chill is your place to be. Cowork and Chill is a hybrid of virtual co-working and virtual networking. It's a community of women who are striving to build living legacies. This is the space to create meaningful relationships with other equally yoked women where you're being poured into just as much as you pour out. So if you're looking for your crew for supportive accountability, then sign up today at coworkandchill.com. That's COWORKANDCHILL, coworkandchill.com.